How's school shopping going?
Oh man,
Next school shopping.
school shopping is it went pretty good.
Are you finished or are you still?
You know what? We didn't get a lot of the stuff to go back to school as far as like paper and all. I mean, we got some things, but we didn't go overboard.
Yeah.
But like a lot of that stuff is just wasteful. You get that throughout the year, dude. I mean, that's all you need is a couple notebooks, some folders,
Right, because I was
crayons, pencils, pens.
like loose leaf paper. Right? Yeah, because in this generation, do they even need that? Like they in a lot of schools, they giving them laptops.
Yeah, they got their all my kids have laptops. My youngest two, they're going to another school this year, so we'll see what that's about. But they didn't even give us a list.
That's what I was going to ask next.
Yeah,
they give you a list.
No, they didn't even give us a list of. So we just winging it, getting the basics.
Yeah.
They want you to buy all that tissue and shit, and I don't know what that's for. Like, come on, man, y'all get money.
Yeah.
Tax money for that.
Want you to buy tissue, but it's not going to be for your kids. It's
Right.
going to be for the class.
Right.
And then on top of that, I know at least, I don't know. So when you said your kids are going to different schools, is that because they like aged out of the school that they were at?
No, we moved.
Oh, you moved? I
Yeah.
didn't know you moved.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know you moved.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I know.
You didn't hear me last week when I said because I got two different cribs.
Right? Yeah. Because
Yeah. Oh, that kind of. Yeah, we moved, man. So I mean, still got the place out west for a little while, but yeah, we out south now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering when that was going to happen.
What, to move?
Yeah. When you going to decide, like, all right, enough is enough.
Well, it's really more so about we moved because school they were going to wasn't really doing too much for the kids.
Yeah.
We felt like. But then where we at now has it's a little bigger, another bathroom. You know what I'm saying? So that always works.
Oh, the house.
Yeah, the house.
I thought you was making fun of the school.
No, the house.
The school got one more bathroom.
Yeah,
like,
no.
what?
The school where they were at, it was fine. But I can just kind of tell academically they could definitely step it up a bit.
Yeah. So do you think it's been simpler or more difficult as the kids are getting older to school shop? Is it just like, all right, I know what y'all need now, so
yeah, I think it's getting simpler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real simple. We go in, boom, close, because they still wear uniforms. Like at the at the past school they went to, they wore uniforms, but they had white tops, which didn't make any sense to me.
Like white t-shirts or
T-shirt or button-ups and stuff like that. But I'm like, these are kids. Like, this stuff gets dirty, dingy.
Yeah.
It gets messed up real quick. So now where they everything's navy blue. So that works a lot better.
Yeah, I've never heard of that one. Did I? 'Cause I used to go to a private school when I was a kid. No, it was burgundy and khaki. Like burgundy shirts and khaki pants.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was never white. Never heard of white.
Yeah, white. They got white shirts, navy blue pants. Navy blue pants isn't bad, but those white shirts, man,
Like, first day.
Yeah.
First day that's messed up.
Kids ain't taking off their shirts and stuff when they get home. And
right.
They have food stains all over it. They're running around in gym class.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Even if they put it in their locker, the locker itself is nasty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's weird. What else new with you, man?
Hey, man.
I'm like processing the fact that you moved. It didn't register when you said that you were in between, like that you were moving. It just went over my head for real.
Yeah, no, we had initially made the move back in April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought maybe you knew, man. I know I had said it.
July.
Yeah.
No. You might have. It just I take things literally. So.
Yeah. Well, I literally moved. So yeah, we've been back and forth. You know, we have more family and stuff. Well, you know, the intermediate part of the family more on the west side, but it's cool.
On time, hiya, gentlemen. What's up, Natasha? How you doing?
Hey, Natasha.
I remember you said you had a softball game or something like that a few weeks back. I've been wondering, did you? What are you doing?
I was trying to hit the ball sound.
Oh, yeah.
Did you win?
Did you win? And whatever the game was, I forget what it was. But glad to see you in the chat, Natasha. So, how's school shopping going for you? Because I know you told me you had some little Natashas. So, how's school shopping going for you? In the meantime, welcome to another episode of the KNoWKi podcast. It's a dynamic duo. I go by the name of Spaces. Your boy Ma is go.
It's Jay every day. Oh man.
I have fitted hats, but I never wear them.
I got like two in the, you know,
let me shift mine. Hey, it's your boy.
Big Maul. Shout out to Big Maul too.
Shout out to Maul.
Shouts
out to Maul.
You know, I think he'll be back next week to get on the podcast. So. But as you guys know, like Maul got married. He tied the knot. He jumped the broom. So congratulations to the brother. And, how'd you enjoy it?
I thoroughly, from start to finish, enjoyed myself. Mm-hmm. Every single aspect of it. The suit that we wore was different than what I've seen in pretty much almost every wedding ceremony that I've seen. It's typically the man is in like just a typical black and white tux. Yeah. So seeing what we were in and just seeing myself, because I don't wear suits like that. I plan to, especially seeing how I looked in that. But seeing myself and it's like, oh, this look good, and I know. I don't know. I'm actually curious. I wish he was here to tell us. But how much work and time did he put into finding that?
The suit?
Yeah. Because, so, I've done fashion shows, right? Mm-hmm. And I've gone to, in order to do the fashion show, then they were coordinating what the guys were going to wear, what the women were going to wear. They had color swatches. It was a color magazine.
Yes.
So how much did you do that? Did you go through a magazine, or did you just see this one suit and was like, okay, I know that's it? Yeah. Or did you go through the color magazine and it's like, okay, page after page after page after page? Did you have to make a list and dwindle it down? You know what I'm saying? Do a process of elimination. Yeah. So Natasha said, LOL, yes, I play softball on Sundays. We lost last week. My little Natasha is 6 feet tall, 18-year-old man in his first week of college. Oh, wow. Ooh, sheesh. Costs are covered by his school fund. Y'all call it the 529 plan. Oh, you just learned me something, because I didn't know about you know about the 529 plan?
Nah, because my daughter don't go to college for a few years, so I'm trying to.
Yeah.
But, wow, congratulations to him.
I've heard some aspects of it, like certain aspects of, like, what is it, a meal plan? Mm-hmm. For my sister just went to college, so I know some surface level stuff. Okay. But they had like a meal plan that was covered.
In college?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get nothing really covered in college when I went.
Did you go to university or you go to?
University, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. We just didn't qualify.
Yeah.
We should have. So that's why I didn't stay too long. I did about a year and a half.
Couldn't do it, no.
Couldn't do it. Hey, out of pocket, that shit, it gets kind of expensive.
Yeah, absolutely.
Loans and all that. So yeah, but
with Maul's ceremony, man, it was absolutely great. Congratulations. Yeah. Everybody looked great.
Awesome.
I'm sure everybody had fun and had a good time. So yes, I absolutely loved it.
I did too, man. Like you said, we all looked great. It was good that we came together. Just black men coming together, doing what we do to help him, join his wife in matrimony. That was a beautiful thing. I think the only person I knew in Maul's family was his brother that we have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everybody else was just like, this is my first time meeting these people. Or excuse me, his wife's side. his wife's side. Like I didn't know anybody on that side either outside of their son that they have together. So it was good meeting everybody, the family. They had open bar, turn up, you know. The food was solid, man. It was good people, good time, and good vibes. I think later on next week or this Friday coming up, another person who's on the show a lot or who's been on the show earlier on.
We talk about him a lot.
Stogie, so he gets married this Friday coming up. So congratulations to him and his wife to be as well.
Yeah, big congrats, man.
Yeah, it's been some weddings this year. So I think about 3 or 4 weddings. Well, have you been in any other ones this year?
No.
Okay.
Demal's was the first, and Stogie's will be the second.
Yeah, I got this one. And I got one in September to go to. I got a cousin. She gets married as well.
Is she in Illinois? Or you gotta travel?
Yeah, she's up in Rolling Meadows. That's what she's having it.
I heard about Rolling. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Happy nuptials to Stogie. Yes. I'll tell him you said so, Natasha. I'll definitely tell him you said so. That's a great dude, man. Then we saw a lot of people that we know.
Yeah.
There.
Oh yeah, people from the job. That's what you mean?
Yeah. I don't know where you work.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know where you work.
Yeah.
But we
I seen people from my job, and then I think they from your job too.
I think maybe so. I think so. I think that's how.
That's how it is. We saw a lot of people, man. It was a good turnout though. Yeah. You had close to 200 people there. So the venue was nice and big. It was over in Lombard at the Carlisle. If you ever been there, if you know, you know. We took amazing pictures out at the park. Park in Lombard, was it?
Yeah, it was a park. I don't know the name of it though.
Yeah, but took wonderful pictures. The photographer, he was funny. He kept calling us boy.
He kept calling us boy. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, all in all, everything was good. It was a good turnout. Everything went as planned. We started a little late because, of course, CP time, but colored people time for the people in the back that don't know. But everything was good.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Again, happy nuptials to you both.
Yeah,
Maul and Mrs. Maul now. Mrs. Maul.
Mrs. Maul.
Sheesh, he gonna yell at me next week.
I doubt it, man. He probably somewhere getting them in.
Okay.
Hey, honeymoon time, man.
Yeah, that's honeymoon what he said. He's going on his honeymoon this week.
That's what I'm saying. You might as well get him, man.
Might as well, right?
Hey.
You ever heard of people going on a belated honeymoon?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
What are your thoughts on that?
Those are usually people who've probably been together for a while. So they're not like people who just probably year or two together and then decide to get married. Those are probably people who've been together for a while.
Yeah,
they can wait for a honeymoon. They feel like
because they've been together.
For a while.
Yeah,
they know what it feel like.
Natasha says, "Oh, I thought he was already married. Kudos to him too. That's so beautiful." Yes, yeah, he just got married this past Friday, and it was a wonderful ceremony. I'll show you some pictures that I took of me, because I don't know. Other people, other people in pictures.
I said, well, you can get mine out the group chat. Did I put mine in there? I was finna say, when you edit the video, you can just throw whatever you put in there.
All right, cool.
You know what I mean?
But no, as far as a belated honeymoon, I hadn't heard about it until I did hear about it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. And it was weird to me because what I had heard of up to that point was a honeymoon being soon after the wedding. So somebody told me, I forget who it was, but it was at least the very least 6 months after they got married that they decided to go on a honeymoon. I don't know if it's a person I was talking to or they were telling me about a story.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird.
Well, sometimes, maybe the money factor. It might be money. You may, I don't know, you may want to move into a house or, you may have other obligations before you decide that you're going to spend some more money on a honeymoon.
Right, because a lot of times if somebody's in a relationship for a long time, they will most likely have a house together.
Yeah.
A lot of times they'll have kids.
Yeah.
Or just prior responsibilities.
Yeah.
And they had to save up for it, which I understand that. I understand that. I just thought it was a little weird because I would think, like, you're getting married, that there's a honeymoon. It seems to me like it would be something that's planned ahead of time. Like you already know, okay, we're getting married, so the honeymoon is typically whatever. That's just me.
Yeah, or you could just do a destination wedding.
Or you could do a destination wedding.
Do the destination wedding. You knock two birds out with one stone.
Straight up.
Whoever makes it down there makes it. You know, you don't have to have everybody in suits. Everybody can wear linen suits.
Yep.
And have their feet out. Have their feet out in the sand.
Feet out in the sand, for real.
And then you go to whatever, Jamaica, Bahamas, wherever people have those things, destination wedding, Mexico, and you can still get your honeymoon right there.
I agree. I most likely, I'm 105% sure that I'm going to have a destination wedding.
Yeah.
Because I all of what comes with planning a wedding is just too much for me. Like the venue, the people, the arrangement of the seats, the colors.
Yeah.
I actually did some research because I was having this conversation. The average wedding in America costs $30,000.
That's crazy.
And then a lot of times, the people that are at most specifically the reception, but the wedding, I guess, are only people that you talk to in those special occasions. Mm-hmm. Why am I paying for you to eat?
Well, I think the common thing is, or you should, if I'm invited to a wedding, right? Even though we may not talk that much, if I'm just a person in the, crowd, audience, I'm going to give some money, you know what I'm saying? Make sure at least you recoup whatever you paid for me and, my plus one or whatever.
Right.
Like, I think when you come to someone's wedding and you don't give a wedding gift, don't nobody want the Bed Bath & Beyond wedding gift, like a gift card or nothing like. People want cash. You know what I mean? Give them some money, right? Yeah. Save the Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm sure they're out of business. Or, just whatever, Macy's gift cards. Give the people some money so they can help recoup some of that.
Yeah, true.
I think I was telling them all, like, you may recoup 40 to 60% of that, whatever it is, just from, the general people that's there. You're not going to recoup all of it. Some people think they're going to recoup all of it. I don't know. You need to probably invite millionaires or something.
Right.
But, but if you could get at least half of that back, it's cool. And still, it's a good time. And that's basically it. You just kind of, showing your love and pronouncing your love in front of everybody else. But, it's about how you want to go about it.
Yeah.
And who you want there. Because it's also, you don't want to just invite anybody knowing that they're not, you don't want to be seen money hungry, but you also just don't want to invite anybody knowing that they're not also people who are willing to give.
Yeah.
Like this is a special moment. Just like anything, you got to be mindful who you break bread with, who you hug, and who you invite to your wedding. You can't just invite anybody. So,
and that's the beauty of a destination wedding because it automatically people weed themselves out.
Yeah.
Right. So people weed themselves out. So it's like, hey,
$500 for a flight, I ain't gonna be able to make it.
Right.
So it does. But I don't know. I feel like a destination wedding, it just comes out as a lot cheaper.
It is because I was looking up the price and it was like $5,000 to $8,000.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it all depends on what you want to add to it and all different kind of special features and stuff that you want to have with it. But $5,000 to $8,000.
I mean, like a beach. All you need is a beach.
Beach and camera.
Beach and camera. People sit on the ground really on the sand. Now it's hot, but get a few chairs.
Right,
you can already get a head count of who's going to be there.
Right.
Right, so you can automatically count. Probably it's going to be less than 50.
Right.
Right. So.
Right. People weed themselves.
And that's unfortunate, because I think there should be a lot more destination weddings. Actually, throughout the years, though, I have seen an uptick of destination weddings down in Puerto Rico. What else? In Mexico, I've seen. Even down in Florida, I've seen some that, if you call that destination wedding. I guess anything that's not home is a destination wedding.
True.
But
true. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But specifically overseas.
Because you want to make sure people don't come. Is that it? Well, like, number one, person got to have a passport. If it's overseas, they got to have a passport.
That's true.
You know, so that's automatically probably going to knock out probably
80%.
80% of the people. And then number two, you got to have people like, oh, we got $5 to spend to go, you know, and be there. So that turns into a mini vacation for them. What do you guys think out there in the clouds? We got 2 watches. Is that
it's
Natasha and you?
No. It's Natasha, but I don't know who the other person is. But so you know the song, was it, I think it's Outkast, Kryptonite? I be on it all night.
Yeah, I be on the Kryptonite. Straight up on that Kryptonite.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We don't own the rights to that music. Okay, YouTube, don't censor our video. We don't own the rights to it.
We was doing that for educational purposes. That's what they say.
Oh man, so got old news, new to the podcast.
Right.
Is KNoWKi for the streets?
Keke Palmer?
Mm-hmm. We haven't talked about it because we haven't. Because skipped last week.
Yeah. Do I think she's for the streets? I mean, her and her boyfriend or whatever is no longer together. Were they fiancés?
Not that I've seen.
I thought they were engaged. But is she for the streets? I don't think they're together anymore, so I guess she is. I mean, all that to me after you didn't had a baby, you know, you guys could have probably tried to work that out and been mindful on both sides.
Yeah.
You know, her being mindful of going outside or whatever she's wearing. I'm not sure how that transpired. I heard different parts of the story that he saw her leave like that or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. But, you know, it's unfortunate now because now it's a child involved.
Right.
You know, if you were doing all that prior, then it's one thing. But, you know, you still have to be mindful when children are involved. Nobody wins when the family feud.
Okay, whose bar was that?
I can't say it, otherwise this would be copyright.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just talking.
Oh,
that was Jay-Z.
I just sound like Jay-Z. It sound like Jay-Z. But I won't say that situation was definitely a for the street situation.
Yeah,
I think, and after having much conversation about it, I think a lot of women really think that maybe they think this but don't know that they think this, but a lot of women think that women can do no wrong.
Mm.
Because the people that I've talked to, they've said a lot of them have said that, oh, it's just a one-time thing. It's like she's just having fun. There's nothing wrong with it.
Mm.
On the flip side, Chance the Rapper had his situation in Hawaii or Jamaica or something like that with a girl dancing on him.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, he's married. What about his wife? What about his kids? He's wrong. He's cheating on his wife.
Okay.
So granted the difference being that Chance the Rapper was married and they're not. But we defend KNoWKi, but demonize Chance.
Yeah. So you saying they both should be demonized?
The demonize was the first word. I don't like the word demonize, but I guess shamed. I think it's unacceptable behavior regardless. Yeah. For both of them.
Mm.
I think if we're gonna shun one person for what they do, we got to shun the other because it's similar actions.
It's the age of social media, though. It's like everything has to be put online, and
right.
I don't know. Like with KNoWKi and Usher's situation, from what I was seeing and also hearing, that Usher wasn't really singing to her. It was like somebody next to her, and KNoWKi kind of got up and
really,
yeah, that's what I heard. So I don't know, because I mean, I looked at Usher. Really, he kind of looked like he didn't want to go on with it, or not necessarily go on with it. He was just kind of
I think went along with it anyway.
Yeah,
he didn't intend for it to go as far as it did.
Exactly. So now it's a big deal. It's like Usher stealing your girl, and we got like a Boondocks moment again. So, but again, I think, and I was having, I think, a discussion or, you know, just a comment with a person I know, and I was just saying that sometimes I think women, they don't like to be critiqued by men. And I could say it on the reverse, like men don't like to be critiqued by women. But I think we digest it a little bit more. We digest it better as men, as far as, being critiqued. Now, one thing I don't like, by either party, when somebody says a real man acts like this or a real woman acts like that, and I want to know who's the person that we look to say who's the real, like, this is the model man and this is the model woman.
Yeah.
Like,
and I agree with you, and I also hate how it's been turned into individual interpretation as to what real is.
Yeah.
Like, one person would say a real dude will shoot his gun or whatever. A real, you know what I mean? Like a real. Drake had the song "Real Say Word."
Yeah.
You ain't never told no lie. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
People would say if you are real with this, then you do, and it's followed that statement is followed by something that's really stupid a lot of the times. But then, we got Maul in the chat.
Big Maul
98. Hey, happy nuptials, bro. Happy nuptials, man. I hope you're enjoying yourself.
Yes, sir. Big Maul. Well, what you got? Sunglasses on? You look like you're on the beach right now, man.
For real.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I say that I think I actually saw a post about it. I saw a post, they said we literally cheered Keke Palmer into single motherhood.
Well, I think, unfortunately, I think a lot of people and a lot of women in general are miserable. So since they are miserable, they want to see other women be miserable. Like, so a lot of times they'll misguide you into a situation so you can be stuck just like them, Instead of just like giving somebody saying, you know what, hey, I've been down this road before, don't do that, don't do X, Y, and Z.
Right.
It's like, go on, girl, keep doing what you're doing.
Right. And that's what happened, right? Like, granted, okay, there's one aspect of it that I really want to add. I wish Ma was here, but he doing his thing. He doing his freshly married thing. You know what I mean? So, when it came to one thing that people were arguing about that situation was they were saying that he should have said what he had to say behind the scenes.
I think, well, he could have, and like I said before, what she did was public. He took it public, Now, somebody would say a real man would have took it behind the scenes, right? See, there we go. Right. I heard that, like, real men don't blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Well, shit, real women don't
do what she did.
Do that, right?
Yeah.
But, when you have like emotion and stuff going on, sometimes you just jap out or you just spaz out right then and there, not really thinking about it. So maybe there's something he could have had a little bit more decorum about, like as far as he could have been a little bit more smooth with it, and probably could have waited and tried to play it off like it wasn't no big deal.
The only thing I think he did wrong, to people's point, Naps and Beauty, what's going on? How you doing?
What's up, sister?
The only thing I think he did wrong was not be more calculated, right?
Is there wrong with being calculated? Is there anything wrong with being calculated?
It can be.
It can be, but just if you say that a person's calculated, is there anything wrong with that?
No, I think not enough people are calculated. That's why we live in a society that we're in now. Right. A society of uncalculated people, right? So, for instance, there's been like the people that tried to sue Hulu for the Freaknik documentary that's coming out.
Yeah.
And it was primarily men didn't care. I didn't hear any men complaining about it. I heard women complaining about it, right? If they were calculated in their thoughts and their actions, then they would think, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. That was just kind of you would have had to have like a time machine to know what would be going on 30 years in the future. Like, hey, these guys are trying to, we're gonna use all that footage. Like that wasn't like online was definitely not popping at that time.
Right.
Like it was in this infancy.
Cameras though.
It was, but it was like the best that would happen is that it end up on somebody's VHS tape. Like, you know what I mean? Like nobody was thinking like this is gonna turn, and now they're streaming it, and so on and so forth. And that's unfortunate that we don't really think that far ahead as far as years and stuff like that. But yeah, and you can be a little bit more calculated.
Calculated, right? Like, okay, let's relate it
having some forethought, I guess.
Forethought. Let's relate it to this situation, right?
Yeah.
Like if she really cared. So first of all, I personally don't think he knew what she was wearing, because if he knew what she was wearing, then his comment about it would be completely irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Second of all, the way that she's taken the way that she's the length that she's gone to it up to this point now.
Mm-hmm.
Now Usher is just capitalizing on it.
She is too.
You think so?
I think at the end of the day, what they say, any publicity is good publicity, good or bad. So, and the fact that you have so many people kind of leaning towards, her, in her, what she did, siding with her, it's kind of like, shit, this turned out to be a pretty good deal. Like, this guy she's with, I'm not saying he's not worth anything, but he doesn't have any. She's the breadwinner.
Yeah.
So I don't see it was like kind of it was a win-win for her.
Well, I mean, okay.
And
what does it say?
It further divides men and women in a situation. This is another conversation. So at the end of the day, now we having these little weird ass conversations about Keke Palmer and some dancer dude she with, like,
Yeah. And so one thing that tied into that situation for me was a lot of times, for instance, we talked about the Sierra situation when she was on the red carpet,
mm-hmm.
what she was wearing, and most people, a lot of people were saying Russell clearly don't have a problem with it, right? Well, how do we know that? Silence isn't confirmation.
Yeah.
Right? At this point, he's stuck. Like, from what I understand, she's pregnant again. So if he were to say something, look at what happens when men say something.
Mm-hmm.
The man gets destroyed. Like, we got Ebony K. Williams promoting single motherhood, and here we are,
mm-hmm.
Keke Palmer and the people that are witness that situation encouraging her into single motherhood, right? We got Aisha Curry, Steph Curry. People saying Steph Curry didn't say nothing, so he must be okay with it. Men can't say anything unless they're willing to face the backlash that comes with it. Because, like, we had two different instances. She's jealous of him because she's not getting men. Aisha Curry is jealous of Steph Curry because he's getting female attention. She's not getting male attention.
Yeah.
It's idiotic logic. Then we got another situation of her on some talk show, and some dude, dark-skinned dude, comes out with a shirt on. She's acting like she's going to take her ring off.
Mm-hmm.
When are they wrong?
Well, you know what? It got me to thinking. I was watching, we're on our 50th year of hip-hop,
right?
I think. So they had Women in Hip Hop on Netflix. I don't know the name of maybe it's called Women in Hip Hop on Netflix. And, they talked about in the 90s how the men were sexually exploiting the women. Mm-hmm. You got Luke Campbell, Luke Skywalker, and them. Everybody else. You had the Tip Drill video and the Ludacris videos, and it got me to thinking, because now where we are now, you have a lot of women rappers, and it's not to disparage them, but my booty hole brown, all that type shit. I don't know the name. But how is it? Is it misogyny when the women are just in the video with Luke Campbell and them, but when the women rappers are rapping about what they're doing, is that not? What is that?
I let them tell
I mean, I'm sure it's not misogyny, but what's the word for that? Because to me, that's even more exploitive than what was going on then. Is that
that's the word I was going to use.
So is that like when black people say we taking the word nigga back? Is it?
Judging from the conversation that I've had, I think they would say so. We're taking our sexuality back.
Okay. So I mean, but even then, because you had people on the other side, both sides of the fence. Some people don't like the word nigger and so on and so forth. But then you have people that say, hey, well, that was originally us. We are the niggas, N-E-G-U-S, right? So what good is this doing for women though? Like the age of rap music, everything is basically sexually explicit.
Yeah.
Because at one time you had women rappers that weren't sexually explicit. You had the Queen Latifahs and the Salt and Pepper was kind of, but they weren't.
They were vulgar.
Yeah,
they were at
vulgar.
least classy.
Exactly, and even like TLC and stuff, even though it kind of considered R&B group, but they had a message at the end of the day. So now you got Suki Hana and Sexy Red, and I'm trying to understand the message. Like, what is the message behind this? Like, they're rapping in front of Popeyes, eating chicken.
Were they?
Yeah. What are we doing? So I'm not sure if this is like some type of new age blaxploitation.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous to me. And I know it definitely gets off the subject of what we're talking about. It's kind of still the same thing. Related. But I'm lost.
So the name of the documentary on Netflix, Ladies First, a story of women in hip hop.
Yeah. And I think women have been pioneers in the game.
Yeah.
But just as hip hop has turned to the worst all the way around, and for men, like now because now of course we have drill and beyond. We got the New York drill, and we got all this pop rap and all that. And for the women, like it's gotten worse since Lil' Kim.
It's gotten.
Foxy Brown. I mean, Lil' Kim on the album cover, kind of squatting down. I was like, damn, like she's just doing that.
Right.
Now we're just way past and beyond that. It's that's something that they're selling to people's children.
1,000%. By default, it may not be like, because they won't even stand behind what they're doing a lot of the times, right? They'll do whatever they do, post it on social media, and then when somebody says kids are watching, they say, well, pay attention to what your kids are watching.
Yeah, but who's doing that 24 hours a day? Kids are at school, and most of the stuff, let's be honest, you're exposed as a child. You're exposed by other kids.
Exactly.
So somebody wasn't watching their kid, or don't really give a damn. Their kids start watching some bullshit.
Yep.
And then now we're in the age where everybody got cell phones. The kids bring, hey, look, watch this.
Yep. Look at my mama on OnlyFans, or your mama. Is this your mama?
It wouldn't be my mama.
No. I said that wrong. I said that wrong. My bad. Is this your mom?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but it is the best word that I can give it to.
I'm gonna say motherfuckers like to be hoeing, but don't like to be called. Hell no. Yeah, I mean,
but the best word that I could give it as well is just exploitive.
Yeah,
like it's just like sexploitation. Because the funny thing is, when men were doing it back in, let's just say, late 80s, 90s rap, and it was even now, you know what I'm saying, from the 80s to now, they say, stop saying this about women, stop calling women this, stop doing all this stuff. They say men should treat women better, men should have better lyrics in their songs and all this stuff, and then you turn around and be everything that the men were talking about. Mm-hmm. So like what was all that talk about stopping? Was it like, I don't know what the goal is.
I think it's all for a buck though. At the end of the day, you're always gonna have people do some decrepit shit for some money. You're always gonna have, like, even in those early on music videos, you would have always had somebody, a woman, even though for every woman that stood up and said don't do that, it was going to be a woman that decided,
like
20 plus that was going to decide that she's going to do the music video. She doesn't care. She has to make her money or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think now, like, these rappers that we have, the female rappers, like, and that's another thing I wanted to bring up. Like, you remember the female rappers back in the day? They actually had to look, or female artists, they actually had to look decent, cute.
Yeah. A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. These days, everybody got the plastic surgery. They're looking crazy as hell. Suki Hana, she's looking like one of the Barney characters. You feel me?
No, she look like
what's it? Baby Bop.
No, bro, she look like Barney for real.
She look like Baby Bop, man. You know what I'm saying? So when you edit this, put up Suki and put up Baby Bop, man.
Maul said, "Look at your mom. OnlyFans is wild."
Yeah, man.
Cultivate your roots. What's up?
What's up, cultivating your roots?
But yeah, bro, that's what's so crazy about it, because, and I calculated.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's one thing for a dude to talk about it, but the dude can only do what the woman participates in a consensual setting, of course. Right? Because people love to jump to forced situations, right? Yeah. In a consensual setting, he can only do what she allows him to do. So these videos wouldn't happen if the women didn't participate, or it would at least be different.
Yeah, it would. I mean, but sex sells.
Exactly, and that's what
sex sells, and they know sex sells. Like, the whole reason we have a market for any of this goofy ass shit is because we have a lot of lame ass dudes that's willing to participate and buy into it. All right, OnlyFans, like, you niggas is really spending $10, $15, $20 to watch some shit. Pornhub is for the free. X videos and Habibi show. That's for the free. The Habibi show is for the free. We not sponsored, but by the way, you can. You know what I'm saying? Y'all porn people getting all that money. But what I'm saying is like, you guys y'all they spam, like, when I first got back on Snapchat.
Yeah.
I was getting all this spam from whoever.
Yeah.
Trying to sell, like, videos and shit.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, damn, I'm popular back in this. Everyone I was clicking on it was like,
oh, I'm getting messages.
Buy pussy pictures, or buy, you know what I'm saying, watch my videos. No, I don't want to participate. And who's buying this shit? You niggas is buying feet pictures. You're weird. You're weird. Feet pictures? You getting off on feet. That's in the picture. That's not even touching you, man. Come on, man. Y'all niggas is gay. Something questionable. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
we got a lot of lonely people out here in this world, clearly.
That has to be it.
And people are being exploited. People are being exploited as well. Like, the men are being exploited, because people are lonely, and the women are too. And the white conglomerates up top are the ones who are cashing in, raking in for all the money.
At the expense of broken families.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of music, I seen this on Facebook. They had a Mount Rushmore of rap in 2010. It was Drake.
2010, the current, right?
2010 before, I think. I should have screenshot.
I think it was 2010.
Oh, so you saw it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know better than me, because I saw 2010. I'm thinking like up to 2010.
Or I think it was the 2010s.
2010s. That's what it was. 2010s. So it was Drake.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar, a question mark, and J. Cole. Who would you put in that spot?
It's gonna have to be some drill nigga. Drill is, unfortunately, and there hasn't really been necessarily like one face of drill, but it's gonna have to be somebody who's doing the drill. I'm not saying these guys are the most talented or anything like that, but what I'm saying, they're pioneers. So you could probably essentially put a Chief Keef up there. Not to say Chief Keef don't put out no music anymore like that, but he had been a pioneer. I'm not saying drill music is the best music, but it definitely has been the reason why a lot of people have gotten killed.
Right? So,
you know what I mean?
That's the first thing I thought about when you said drill. I'm like, death?
Yeah, let's be honest. Rap is a death culture. Unfortunately, this is what is riddled with death and is riddled with sex. If you go listen to anything that's especially new, sex, death, and drugs. Drugs a lot of time leading to death. So, and jail. There's nothing really I would say that's positive about that.
Sex, drugs, money, violence. That's what I hear. Maul said he'll put Future.
Future's another one.
He'll put Future. I can't say because I don't listen
even
to Future,
then, and he's not drill, but even if you say Future, it's like he talking about sex, drugs
that he doesn't even do, by the way, but influencing other people to do it.
So,
yeah, man, it's tough for me to say because for the very reason that you just described, I don't listen to rap, a lot of rap anyway. I listen to lyricists, people that really are trying to get a message across in their music.
Yeah.
But the first person that came to my mind when I saw that was Lil Wayne.
Yeah. When Weezy, like I said, Weezy was that pre-2010s era. Like
right.
He was the 2000s guru or whatever. Like Wayne had it.
Yeah.
Wayne had it for at least 5-6 years, like mixtape after mixtape.
Right.
And he was rapping that, but a lot of stuff was just rhyming. It was just rhyming, putting stuff together. It wasn't like, hey man, I'm smoking on ops and
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, riding through your block and the police can never solve these murders. You know what I mean? Like this shit's really happening.
Right.
So
man, Lil Wayne is the only rapper that I hear that literally has back-to-back bars. Like a lot of rappers will have they'll so the typical verse is 16 bars.
Right.
They'll have one bar per 4.
Yeah.
One hard bar, one hardcore punchline.
Yeah.
One punchline every 4 bars. Back to back with this dude.
Yeah.
And then Maul said 2000 to 2010.
Yeah, Wayne was in that 2010, but he really didn't. I mean, he was out earlier, obviously in the earlier 2000s, but when Go DJ came out, you know what I mean, what's that, the Carter one?
Crazy.
Like he had 400, Wayne had 400 degrees, right? Oh no, Wayne had 500 degrees. I get them confused because Juvenile had I think Juvie had 400 degrees and Wayne had 500 degrees. 500 degrees wasn't that hot, unfortunately. That shit's garbage.
Yeah.
But
he said garbage.
It is. You go listen to 500 degrees when we leave. That shit's not good. Carter 1 was solid, but 2, 3, so on and so forth, and then the mixtapes. Wayne's mixtapes is like better than his albums.
Like as we say in the gaming world, God tier.
Yeah.
You have your what'd you say was your favorite Carter?
My favorite
Carter mixtape.
Oh no! Favorite mixtape?
Yeah,
it was Dedication 2. For favorite album, probably Carter 2 or Carter 3. Probably Carter 3. Lena.
Oh man,
Carter 2, Carter 3.
All of that stuff that on all of them. I don't really have a favorite. I tried to listen to them. I'm trying to figure the songs that I identified the most with. I think were on 1. But on 2, 3, I could just play them through.
Yeah.
Outside of the interludes and outerludes and all that stuff, just the songs back to back, I could play them all.
Right.
But so who would you put in that spot?
Like I said, that have to be, to me. I'm looking for. It wouldn't be him. Unfortunately, have to be a particular person.
Yeah.
But I feel like to leave drill out, and none of those guys represent drill. And to me, it's about also what was pushed at that time, what the agenda was.
Drill was a thing in the 2010s.
Yeah,
because I
tens is gonna give you the teens.
Yeah, because I honestly didn't really know drill was a thing until these past maybe 2 years.
Right. So now that's now we're going into the New York drill. But drill is, if you go on Reddit, you familiar with Reddit?
Yeah.
So you go into Reddit, you go on, it's a whole subgroup about, who's killing what, like literally who killed who, what op is this. You see what I'm saying? This turned into, you got New York guys trying to be GDs and so on and so BD, like BDs in New York, for real. You know what I mean? So it's definitely turned it into more of a gang infested, and this isn't necessarily saying it was good. I'm just saying it's the influence nothing has had really the influence of drill in the past, 5-10 years. Like nothing's been more influential than drill.
I can give you that. Because
they even got it down in Florida. They got Maul probably could have said like down in maybe not Miami, but Jacksonville. They got Jacksonville drill.
Yeah.
Like if you watch it on YouTube, you can just throw that stuff up. That's all they talking about.
Yeah.
In Philly, they smoking on ops. That's what they say. Everybody was copying that. Yeah. That was the wave. So I can't necessarily give you one person, but I think like if I had a face and I said, well, this was the face, I would say the first song that Don't Like with Chief Keef. Right? And I would say, boom. And that was like 2012. That's that shit I don't like. And then Finito. And then you get, everybody that came in after that. Herb, Lil Durk, King Juan, so on and so forth. King Louis. Like you had the wave of so many people behind it. That's even if we go into the YouTube world of corporate. Black Chicago Be Like.
Yeah.
Right? You get, I think a lot of times I think that took off because you had the drill music movement.
So there's been and I have my answer, but I may be wrong. Would you say that drill music originated in Chicago?
Oh yeah, no, that's
like people argue that.
Who's arguing?
I've had conversations. I don't remember
where are they from.
From New York.
They wasn't doing that. Like Fabio Foreign them?
I don't know. That I just cause I'm just thinking back
like
to
Pop Smoke.
Pop Smoke. Not saying that he put it on the map, but just
look,
I'm not saying that it originated with him. But I would say he like
New York originated rap. We give him that.
Okay.
It started in the Bronx, right? But the drill aspect of just like West Coast gang banging, the gangster rap as they call it, that started in the West Coast.
Yeah.
Right? Down south did the what was the down south doing? The
Chopped and Screwed
and stuff, Houston and all that, and down south itself did something. It also hit the little snap and pop shit going down in Atlanta and so on. So I think every region has put something into it, but drill was something from Chicago, and it mixes perfectly, unfortunately, with the environment of Chicago. Like you go to these areas and you're looking around, like because Chicago's one of those. If you haven't been there, or if you're not from here, it's not a bad looking city aesthetically. So you get into some of these neighborhoods and you're looking around, it's like, oh, and then somebody pop out, out of one of these gangways, with some guns and some hoodies and some black Air Force Ones. Like, this is Chicago.
Yeah.
Like, you go anywhere else and you'd be like, you can readily identify that this is the bad neighborhood.
Yeah.
Right? So, you go to East Cleveland or whatever the fuck. You go to North Philly. You go to anywhere in Baltimore. You see what I'm saying? You go to Overtown in Miami. You go to Fifth Ward in Houston. Like, that this is some shit right here. In Chicago, it kind of be like outside of maybe K-Town or something. Like, you can't really identify it like that. And shit, there's some nice blocks in K-Town.
So I just typed in Google, where did drill music originate?
Yeah. Southside Chicago.
Southside Chicago. Drill rap originated in Southside Chicago around 2011.
Yeah.
So 2010s.
That falls under there.
Yeah. King Louis is considered one of the first drill rappers ever and the founder of drill rap. Some pioneers of drill rap were Chief Keef, Lil Reese, Lil Durk, Rhonda Number 9.
Rhonda Number 9. Yeah.
L.A. Capone, La Capone, L.A. Capone, R.I.P.
Yeah, a lot of those guys are dead in jail. Unfortunately, they lived that type of life.
Yeah, and that's the sad.
And that's the thing that it really took off and it resonated with a lot of people is that we don't just They just weren't rappers rapping about somebody else's story. Even though you probably did have some of those drill rappers rapping somebody else's story, but a lot of those guys were actually in it. Yeah. Right? So they were living whatever they were rapping, which kind of made it quote unquote realer. You know, because as rap or fans of rap, we're always looking for authenticity.
Yeah.
So that's why people more so even they kind of like King Von.
Listen.
People like King Von because he had he was charismatic, but then he also had an authenticity, quote unquote authenticity about himself. That hey,
music, yeah.
Hey, I killed X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? And the body is on A, B, and C streets, and I'm gonna get off if I'm ever charged. And he rapped about it
because there's nothing. We talked about the documentary.
Yeah. Trap Lord Ross's documentary.
Yeah. Trap Lord Ross. That's the thing about so you mentioned King Von, and we talked about King Von and what that link said. Listen, I wasn't listening by unintentionally. Unintentionally, I listened to some King Von music.
I didn't listen till he died. The day of King Von died. Okay,
let me listen to his music.
Oh, this shit actually alright. I got a drop on it, you know what I'm saying? That shit high. Like,
yeah. It was, and that's what I was gonna say. Like it was actually some good
he had potential. It's unfortunate,
unfortunate situation
happened. But you live by the sword, die by the sword.
Yeah. Unfortunately, man, that's terrible, man. But and that's the thing about like drill rap as a genre of music. It was pretty good to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, it gets you.
Unfortunately,
it gets you hype, man. It's good workout music. You know, you could throw on some Dirk or something and get busy in the gym. You know, you get you all mad and get your blood boiling. You need that blood to move, man.
Yeah. So, let's see. Naps and Beauty said the 2023 XXL ciphers were a slap in the face for the 50-year hip hop anniversary.
Them niggas was terrible. It was so bad that. And I'm not saying women don't have no bars, but when the women is better than all the dudes, like, did you hear it?
No. Yeah. I've never been interested.
Oh, my goodness. Like, the women was snapping. The dudes was just trash. I'm talking about these dudes was green eggs and ham in it. Like, 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. Like, nigga, it was terrible.
You know, a lot of times, though, men are writing the lyrics for these women.
Well, they need to write the lyrics
for the men too.
Shit.
Oh man, you know what? That just reminded me. Did you see any parts or even hear any parts of what was it, the hip hop awards? Like Megan Thee Stallion show?
No, I did see when the drill rappers came on. You know what I'm saying? So and they started doing Finito and just Chicago in the building or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I saw that aspect of it, but outside of that, I'm disappointed with hip hop and where it's gone in 50 years. I mean, you think about say for instance, hip hop were a person.
Yeah.
And you're a 50-year-old man or a 50-year-old woman. Do you expect to be in that? It seems like you're going back. You're doing some Benjamin Button shit where you're kind of going backwards in time and you're going into your infancy.
Okay.
You seen Benjamin Button?
Regressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's regressing, like it's going backwards.
Yeah, degenerative.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely 1,000% agree.
So that's what I'm saying. As a man, if you're 50 years old, do you expect to act like a juvenile, basically, that they're acting like? Even though these are younger people that's right, I'm just saying. It's kind of just going backwards, and I really don't. I'd rather listen to V103 or whatever's in my
the radio?
Yeah. Maybe I'm getting old. Shit, I'm down there 40.
I think, and I ask myself that question too. Like, is it because we're getting older and we just our tastes are changing, or is it really that bad?
Even back then, like I could probably remember 15 years ago, like I wasn't overly sexual about. I didn't want to hear things overly sexual. Like, yeah. That's why I like the R&B music. Like, R. Kelly was probably as explicit as they get, but it wasn't anything. Speaking of which, they had like a R. Kelly versus Michael Jackson versus.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You can compare the two?
I mean, you could do a versus.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, you can do it. They're about the same age. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, they were, got caught up doing virtually the same thing, Messing with them kids,
Allegedly.
Wasn't a legend. Like,
no, we gotta say it for just because somebody.
What they gonna do? What Michael Jackson gonna do? He gonna come back out and Mike was fucking with them kids, man. It just is what it is. I don't care what nobody's talking about. But yeah.
So somebody texted me because they're listening.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were listening. Thank you for listening.
Mm.
So they said Drake, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Kanye West.
Weezy?
For
Kanye.
Mount Rushmore. Kanye West.
I mean, Kanye kind of transcend. He like both.
I gotta say, that's a good. That actually, I didn't think about Kanye West. I think Kanye West is in there, bro.
Well, his first 3 classic albums, I think, came out before. At least first 2.
Right.
College Dropout came out what 04, 03. Graduation came out, I think, 07, 06.
I
2010 could have been for was it the Homecoming? I don't know, but his first 3 are his most classic to me.
So we got 03 College Dropout mixtape, 03 Freshman Adjustment, 06 Welcome to Kanye's Soul, 06 he got 3 in 06, 08 Love Lockdown EP.
Late registration 05.
Late registration.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Kanye has really like the stuff that we considered the classics for Kanye outside of My Twisted Dark Fantasy. Is that the name of it? My Beautiful Dark Fantasy. I think that came out. What year did that come out? 2010. So I think
a lot of people like that though.
No, I did. It was a good album. I liked it.
Listen to it.
I liked it, but I think like the classic. I mean, you could put Kanye on there.
I think Kanye is a good choice. They also mentioned Big Sean, but I almost wasn't even going.
Big Sean.
Yeah. No, Big Sean ain't it.
No,
Big Sean ain't it.
I like Big Sean, but he ain't on Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, not on Mount Rushmore. So let's 3 specific names for that specific spot. The third spot we got Chief Keef.
Mm-hmm.
Chief Keef, Kanye West, Future. Which one is definitely out of the 3?
Well, I would think about Kanye. He still be like relevant outside of music. Like he's relevant for other shit. Think about Chief Keef. It's not necessarily him. It's the subgenre.
Right, because I was gonna say like Chief Keef / drill rap.
Yeah. But if we're talking about just a particular artist, I think Future is the one that you plug in.
You think so?
I mean, shit, you have to.
I don't like Future as I've.
Well, it ain't about necessarily like. It's just about what he put out.
What he put out, and the I guess you could say if we talk billboards.
Yeah, and body of work. But again, I'm influential.
Yeah. Naps Beauty said true. True. So it's something that I wanted to talk about, right?
Yeah.
4-day school week. 4-day school week. What do you think about that? Just from that.
4-day, like how you do a 4-day work week where you're working 12
4 by 10.
You're 4 by 10, or you're working 12 hours. Is it gonna be like that? Or we just cutting out? Because I'm not understanding. I mean, these niggas is already slow. Like, the kids is not. The math ain't mathing. They showing the kids how to, like, add. Like, bro, you ain't got to do all that. Like, just 1 + 1 is 2.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't
changing how it's done.
Yeah, they just changing how it's done. You know, people don't know, what is it? Please excuse my dear Sally.
Yeah, PEMDAS.
Yeah, I've been seeing some crazy shit.
Yeah, they'll ask a question on the Facebook and people come up with something that's like, there's no way you did PEMDAS.
My goodness, I'm saying my God. Okay, so I don't know. I think a lot of times people use school as a babysitting mechanism. You know, so that's what they use school for. right? And shit, I mean, myself included. Who's gonna watch these kids when I'm at work?
You gonna add that while I'm at work, huh?
Well, I'm at work because I'm not at work at that time. But you know what? It was difficult. Let's be honest. Even those out there in the clouds, when it was COVID time, it was kind of difficult really trying to homeschool the kids or have your kids tune into the classroom at school and or whatever their teacher was doing. Like, that was a difficult time for at least a year and a half, especially for Chicago public schools. Like, we had been dealing with, right prior to COVID, we had a strike. So
teacher strike.
Yeah. So you had the teacher strike, then boom, COVID. You know what I mean? So there was kids who basically had missed the whole second half of school. Right. You know, like they attended when they wanted to. So personally, I don't think it's a good idea. But also, you do have people who think that homeschooling would be a better option for a kid, which it can be. It can be if you have the right tools to do so and you're really paying attention. But I feel like there's going to be a lot of children, or I think rather that there is going to be a lot of children who miss out on opportunity. They're just going to be handed some type of device, a phone, a tablet, a computer, and it's like, hey, to figure this out. Yeah.
So the more I read from this article, the more I could just shake my head. So it says a 4-day school week is an alternative to the traditional 5-day weekly educational schedule. A 4-day schedule involves reducing the number of school days to 4, usually from Monday to Thursday, while increasing the length of each school day. So what is it typically, like 7 to 3?
8, I would say 8:30. Yeah. To about 2:30, 3:30, depending on your school. Right. I don't see where you're going to be increasing it on either side at, because you can't really have them come in too much earlier. It's going to be dark outside. You can't have them, like, school is basically in session, like, right after sun comes up. Yeah. School is in session. And right before sun goes down, school is let out. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think.
Where are you going to, what end are you going to increase the time?
I would say on the back end.
On the back end, that's probably the best. But what about kids who take the bus and stuff? Like, I mean, you have to think about those. And why? What's the point of this?
It talks about it in the article. So, but I do know that when I was in school, I had what was called a 0 hour, which was an additional class before school started. So just from that alone, my school day was longer. And then on top of, to your point, how does it work with the classes? So are you going to give them more classes? Are you going to make the individual classes themselves longer? Like
shorter, longer? Is this just for high schoolers? Is this for everybody? Is this for middle schoolers, elementary school? Like this, I mean, it has to be a lot of thought put into this. And no, I don't think so. Maybe when my kids graduate, y'all can go into that. But until my kid graduate, don't do that, please.
Wait till they done.
Wait until they done.
The idea of a 4-day school week has gained popularity over the last decade, especially in rural areas where schools face budgetary constraints and staff shortages.
Well, the thing is that most, even though you have a lot of people living in rural areas still, over 50% of the nation still lives in an urban environment. So are we doing something this goes where we're doing things for the minorities versus the majority of people. The majority of people need those children to be indoctrinated. Because we got to work. Right. So, I don't know. I think that's still something. And maybe we vote on it or something. I don't know how that come across. But I don't know how you...
Research shows that the maximum possible cost savings for districts on a 4-day week is 5%, but average savings range from 0.4% to 2.5%. So is that enough?
So we talking about 2%?
The maximum possible cost savings for districts on 4-day week is 5.43%, but average savings from 0.4 to 2.5%.
That's nothing. That's nothing. I mean, I don't know what type of budget they're working on, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. You pay a teacher what? In a rural area? Maybe 40, 50,000?
Right. Yeah.
40,000 to save 2%? What is that?
And how, to that too, how does that work? Like, it's one less day of driving buses.
Yeah.
One less day of
4,000
parents for the parents that drive their kids to school. It's making less and less sense to you, huh?
Yeah, because you're trying to save a couple dollars. The school lights are still gonna be on and shit. Shit's still gonna be running.
That was the opposite of what I was thinking. Like, you would just have like some basic hallway lights on.
Yeah,
but it's
still running. They're gonna charge you.
Yeah,
put some kids in there. I mean, y'all was trying to figure out so many ways of cutting back on the actual American people, and this is no disrespect to other people that need to seek asylum, but like you guys are trying to cut back on the people that live here, and need to be putting more focus and effort. I mean, homelessness is through the roof, but I don't know. Have you been past any Chicago police stations?
Not recently.
It's full of people.
Asylum seekers?
Yeah, asylum seekers. It's full of I'm not, whatever. But it's full of those people there. And I get it, but it's like, damn, you have nowhere to put these people. It's finna get cold in a minute. Right. It's about to get cold. How long you gonna keep those folks out there? Chicago isn't a warm city. It's just warm right now.
Right.
And they've been out there at least since April, May? So you got to figure it out. And then again, you're taking people. You got a lot of homeless people. You guys are shutting down the mental institutions. So you're letting the mentally ill out onto the street. So a lot of times those stabbings and stuff that you hear about, it's done by mental people. I mean, something got to be mentally wrong with you to go stab a person.
Yeah.
Guns is whatever, but like to stab a person, to feel that,
you can with a gun, you can just let that off randomly. Yeah. Like, you got to be calculated with at least a little bit.
A little calculated. Yeah, you got to be a little calculated. I wouldn't say calculated, but you got to be a little bit off the wire. You got to be a little crazy to be stabbing people.
Yeah.
So yeah, this country has a lot to think about. It has a lot to, but I really don't think they care.
I think the more I put the link in the chat.
Yeah.
But the more, because there's a specific paragraph that says pros and cons of the 4-day week, right? Proponents of a 4-day school week argue that it offers several benefits, including cost savings, which we just showed that's minimal, improve student attendance, and increase teacher morale. By reducing the number of school days, schools can save money on transportation, food. I can see that. One less day of having transportation.
I feed them bullshit anyway.
It's cheap anyway, huh?
Yeah, it's not like you feeding them grade A shit. Like, this shit bullshit.
Yeah.
You guys are giving them milk. How much is some milk cartons, bro?
Yeah. And energy costs.
Yeah.
This can be especially important for rural districts where students may need to travel long distances to get to school, because a lot of people do walk to school. District administrators also claim that the appeal of a 4-day work week helps recruit teachers in areas where it is consistently difficult to attract new staff.
All bullshit. It's all bullshit.
I think I agree.
It's all bullshit.
I think I agree with you.
It's all bullshit. And who's pushing this? Like, where's this at?
Different states. It's at I just had that.
What kind of states? That's you know what I mean? What kind of states is doing this? Is this some Vermont ass shit?
Okay, how about this?
Sounds kind of, I don't know. Sounds kind of liberal to me.
Right. That's what I was thinking too. Okay, so it says 26 states.
Yeah.
876 school districts. Wow. 876 school districts. So let's see. I know they mentioned Oregon.
Oh, there you go.
That's blue, right?
Yeah.
Oregon is blue.
If it ain't blue, Portland
is. There it is. Right there.
Okay.
Further west.
Yeah, I can see them having a lot of problems with. Yeah.
Yeah, it's liberal. What I'm saying is a lot of it is liberal.
I think it's really, it's cut in half. A lot of those western states outside of Texas, and Texas is just such a huge state. California is a huge state as far as population and area. So, but those interstates like Nevada, Colorado, and stuff like that, like Wyoming, and those are red states. Like I think,
yeah.
Wyoming's a red state. Montana's a red state. So, yeah, I you know what, I can see it happening out there. But as you can see, everywhere to the east of the Mississippi,
yeah,
like they like fuck that. That's stupid. Basically, outside of Alabama.
Yeah, I mean it don't. I unless if it was something drastic, I could see.
All I can see is kids falling further and further behind. Not within not only the nation, amongst other people, right, who have the funds to have their kids, because there's going to be schools and stuff where you're sending your kids to private schools, and they're going to school 5 days a week. So if you chop it down to 4 days a week, somebody's going to be missing out on something. So there's the great divide of you're going to have people, basically it's going to come down to income, where the people with less income are going to be the ones to suffer. Therefore, they're not going to be able to blossom and bloom and go on and further themselves in their careers.
Yeah, because if it's just like the work week, if the trade-off would be less days but more hours on the days that you go in, that would be the trade-off.
Yeah.
So if they're saying, okay, we'll have one less day per week, but the school days are going to be longer, and y'all figure it out however you figure it out. It can be more classes, it can be longer classes, however it works. Then I would believe that they're still at least a little bit getting the same education.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're saying less days but still same amount of hours of school day, I don't see it being really beneficial.
Yeah, I don't know. Just something like that. Maybe they need to develop or give some type of funding to help improve homeschooling out there. I think just forget it as a whole. Like,
just do away with the schools.
Do away with the schools and let's do some homeschooling type stuff. Where you know what I mean. I know a lot of times it's kind of difficult. They might not have social. So I wouldn't say social issues, but no, just access to the internet,
social life,
social life. That too is very important. But just access to the internet so they can get things done. But people have been homeschooling since antiquity, so you might as well. You can do that. It can be done. Yeah. You guys aren't really farmers and shit like that no more. Right. Stop it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in a lot of households though, because I was actually entertaining the idea of homeschooling, because in a lot of schools and a lot of teachers these days, they bring their social issues into the classroom.
Absolutely. They hear my daughter listening to like some R. Kelly, even though it's the R. Kelly birthday song, don't be playing R. Kelly in what grade? 2nd grade classroom.
Why?
Go Kelly, it's your birthday. No, don't play that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Go just happy birthday. Just do that.
The regular.
Yeah, just do that.
Regular birthday song.
Yeah.
Happy birthday. At least go put a little soul on it.
Now you're putting that freaky spirit into the classroom. You know what I'm saying?
And then, also, a lot of Naps and Beauty.
It becomes, it seems like you're ready. That comes on next. I already know where this is going.
Teacher-made playlist.
Yeah, teacher-made playlist. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Freaky-ass teachers, man.
That's true. That is true as well, because, in a lot of situations, I've seen stories after stories of playing R. Kelly.
Yeah. I'm literally
in the 2nd grade classroom.
My daughter was singing the song "Come On" the R. Kelly birthday. Dun, 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 dun. I'm like, I don't play that song. How the fuck she know? I say you be playing. No. Oh no. My daughter said, no, they playing at school. The teacher, what? They playing R. Kelly? The R? They playing Robert. These is kids, man. He should be banned. No, I fuck with R. Kelly. Anybody know? He should be banned off the property. No R. Kelly played in this motherfucker.
Matter of fact, if your last name if you have Kelly in your name, you can't even be a student here.
Be a student. Your first name can't even be Kelly.
You can't even be Robert. All Roberts are banned.
Man. So playing fucking R. Kelly. What's wrong with these people, man? This is what I'm saying. But you're right though. They bring they whatever little issues, little freaky ass, you know, whatever they got going on, and they bring it to the classroom with the kids.
Yeah, the legitimate quiz, they do it too. For real.
Yo, no, I'm not. You know, I'm not in that.
I watched a video where a lady, it was a kindergarten class, I think, something like that, kindergarten, something like that, and the teacher recorded a video, somebody else's child, by the way, of the person looked genetically woman. I believe it was a woman, right? And there was
a child that looked genetically
woman? No, the teacher. Okay. But the video was of the teacher explaining to the world how the child doesn't refer to the teacher as Miss.
Okay. Okay. See.
Like why does the child need to know? Why does the child need to know what your pronouns are?
No, just call it. Look, if it's a problem, you don't want to be called Miss or Mister, whatever. Teacher is fine, or whatever name you go by. That's fine too. Even if you a dude, go by Kelly. You know,
Mr. Kelly.
Right, Kelly. You're a woman, they go by Robert. You know what I mean? That's Robert right there. All right. A little confusing, but whatever.
I'm confused. Right?
It was a model named Michael Michelle back in the day. I didn't know why her name was Michael. That was clearly a woman. She was pretty.
Right.
I don't think she was gay or nothing. But I'm just saying, like, why was her name Michael? Right. George Foreman named all his daughters like George or some shit. All his kids are like George or the derivative of George.
Yeah.
Georgina and shit like that. Some craziness.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, if you want to go by another name or whatever, a middle name, just
tell them your name.
Just tell them your name. We could do that.
That'll still.
It'll bring up a conversation.
It'll bring up a conversation because especially kids, when they start asking questions, because I don't know if you know, but I grew up around kids, right? Like it was always kids in my house. They get curious.
Yeah, kids are very.
They start asking questions. Why? Okay, my teacher's name. Teacher looks like a woman, but their name is Billy.
Yeah, well, I don't know what to tell you, but that's his name or her name. That's the name of your teacher. That's the name of your teacher, and that's what it boils down to. You know, because I think they do this on purpose to make things confusing.
Yeah.
So then we end up with a fucking lawsuit. You know, it boils back to some money. It boils back to some confusion. It's like being in a car accident. There ain't nothing really wrong with you.
Yeah.
But you the motherfucker on the ambulance.
With the brace around your neck.
With the brace around your neck, trying to fake it, trying to get some bread. I get it. There's going to be people that do that. But, like, come on, man.
It's crazy. And that's the issue, man. It's just like there's a lot of conversation centered around stuff that's not education in the school system. And then now we got this. Okay, that's one less day, but now, okay, that's giving everybody one more day off. But what is it really doing for education purposes, though? Because in the article that I read and what I've looked at, there's no real concern on the education of the child, of the children.
It needs to be. We need to go back to the old hardcore way of just learning things, just math. Reading, arithmetic is math. Geology, just knowing it. Like, I'm sure you people even in the clouds don't even know the capital of, I don't know, Wyoming. Right. You know what I mean? What's the capital of that? Right? See?
I'm geographically challenged.
That's what I'm saying. But more time need to be spent on all that type of stuff. Bring back wood shop and all that, just so you can learn.
Put your hands.
Put some. I mean, look, dude.
Use your hands.
I think they're trying to do this to the nation, whoever they is, but the man, or the woman, or the non-binary. Anyway, somebody's trying to do this, and it's confusing everything, and it's kind of handicapping us against the world.
Yeah.
Imagine Russians doing Russians wouldn't do that goofy shit.
Right.
So, I had a question. Oh, two questions. Well, one thing, again, we go back to the R. Kelly versus Michael Jackson.
Okay.
In the verses. I mean, I know you don't listen to Kells, but I think Kells might have Michael Jackson. I think Michael Jackson of course, he has bigger hits, but it kind of fizzles out towards the tail end of his career. And R. Kelly was basically consistent all the way through. As far as, of course, Michael Jackson's more popular and so on and so forth, sold millions more copies. But I'm just sold millions of more copies of the first 3-4 albums.
Right.
But basically, and he was torn off those songs.
Oh, Michael Jackson?
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Of course, he's a better entertainer. But as far as songwriting, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure if R. Kelly was writing songs, but.
Okay, so I just typed in Michael Jackson best songs.
Yeah.
Right. I don't think these are in order, but these are. I'm just gonna name them off. Rock With You.
Yeah.
Beat It. Bad.
Yeah.
Burn This Disco Out.
Right.
I don't know that one. He said, all right. I don't know. Morphine. Smooth Criminal. Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. Man in the Mirror.
Billie Jean.
PYT.
Black
or White. PYT. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if we talking, okay. A little caveat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it's not a caveat because verses is typically 20 songs, right?
Clouds. Who you got, man? Who you got?
Michael Jackson, R. Kelly. And we have to compare the time frames too, because like you said, R. Kelly, his music was still going on long after.
He in jail right now. I got some shit coming out.
Right. For real?
No, I don't know.
Oh, I was saying for real.
He's singing for Honey Buns now. Singing for some commissary.
He's singing for Honey Buns and Swiss rolls.
Yeah, so he can trade it because those are big things on the.
Yeah.
In jail, you get some honey buns, you get a box of honey buns, you can get some honey and buns.
So one of my favorites, probably my top 5 favorite Michael Jackson songs, Heaven Can Wait. I hate the concept of it.
Yeah.
Because he's saying, if God tried to pull me into heaven, but you weren't coming, then tell God, no, I want to stay here with you.
Oh, okay.
Nah. Hey, sorry. Right? You should have did better. You know what I'm saying? But
Remember the Time was one of the ones for me.
Remember the Time?
Yeah, that hit the black people as Egyptians.
Yeah.
You had Eddie Murphy in there. Do you remember?
Is that the one when
he had Iman in there.
He was squatted down, but he jumped onto his feet from his knees. Is that the video?
I think so. Yeah.
I'm saying it because I remember as a kid.
Yeah, that's what
trying
you
to
doing.
do that.
Yeah, I'm sure you can pull that off. I think you did that at the wedding. Then y'all didn't see.
No, man.
Liberian girl. Yeah, that's that shit.
So if we're talking 20, I think Kells got it.
If we're talking, okay, we said 20, but the first 10 or whatever, Michael Jackson but then that's when R. Kelly just kind of come in. The first 10, I'm not sure if there's any song that R. Kelly has.
I'm sorry, man. Okay, I just typed in R. Kelly best songs.
Yeah.
Ignition, Bump and Grind, I'm a Flirt, Step in the Name of Love. I believe I can fly is the legendary graduation song. Toya Toing. I guess Hotel is up there.
I'm just saying,
you can find something better than Hotel.
Yeah, you can find something better. But I just think as with R. Kelly's longevity, he's been in the music. He's been in there 30-something years, 35 years.
Yeah.
So, he really did his thing. Oh, one more thing I wanted to talk about. She said, "What is it? Collector Root." Oh, that's her jam. She said. Natasha said that's a jam. Natasha. Liberian girl.
Okay.
What I'm gonna say? Oh, Maui.
Oh, Maui. Yeah.
The fires of Maui, man. First of all, condolences to everything. Everybody over there.
Yes.
Big condolences. What do you think is going on over there, man? I'm gonna put my 10-4 Kufi on in a second, but
I know there's more to it than it just
what meets something
than something that just caught on fire and it just a whole blaze.
Yeah.
I think there's more to it. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But it's just sad that had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I heard somebody say that a long time ago there was a group of people that were talking about trying to do real estate in that area.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if in that conversation they said they're going to do what happened in Maui.
Yeah.
But they said they want to do real estate, and only way to really do it, not the only way, but one way to do it is to force them.
They're getting people out their land.
Yeah.
I say look for Maui to be like one of those smart islands.
Smart islands.
Yeah, they wanted to do like it's a big thing about 15-minute cities now.
Okay.
Where everything is basically within 15 minutes. You don't have to travel. You don't need a car. You don't. Everything is walking distance within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe that they're trying to go in that direction where it's more so because Maui's not a big area. I think it's only like 700 square miles. So roughly maybe size of New York plus maybe the size of Chicago.
Yeah.
So you think of New York, you might think big, but it's not really that big. Yeah. It's just everything's tight. So that's not really a huge area. 700 square miles is a little smaller than Rhode Island. So Rhode Island is our smallest state for it. And then something just a little smaller, 300 square miles smaller than Rhode Island. I could see them making everything smart over there. Having AI ran things. Technology, because they said Bezos had real estate over there, Oprah had real estate over there, Mark Zuckerberg. So all these guys, these billionaire moguls, they all had a lot of real estate. So, I definitely could see them having a hand in some nefarious activity.
I heard the name Oprah.
Yeah.
As it pertains to this situation.
Mm-hmm.
This is all allegedly. I don't know. This again. This is what I heard, that like she may have some dealings with that. And
yeah. She's probably the face. How they always have to have a black face in front of some shit,
in front of some chaos.
Yeah, but I think it was some other major players involved.
Time will tell.
Yeah,
time will tell, because we'll see because it's definitely going to be rebuilt. It's definitely going to be put back together, and most likely, for all intents and purposes, gentrified.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see what names are on it, because you have to do research with that too. Like, because to keep their name off of something, a lot of people create companies inside of companies inside of companies inside of companies inside of companies. So you have to, like, you'll see a building over there under one company's name, for, let's just say, for example purposes, it'll say Macy's.
Mm-hmm.
But that Macy's is over there because this person funded it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be kind of a circular thing as far as, bringing back the money and funding it, and the money coming back to the person that,
y'all to follow the money. So whoever's over there doing a lot of, like you said, real estate or whatever, making moves over there, funding a lot of stuff, investing, you follow that money. That I'm pretty sure that's probably the person who's probably responsible for those transformers blowing up or whatever they said.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah, they said it was something electrical, some transformers blew up, and then you had these 70, 80 mile an hour winds that rarely ever come through there. And, then you have that, and that's not act like weather manipulation isn't a thing.
It has to be. It has to be.
So a lot of those people had to run into the ocean to avoid those 1,000-degree flames. Sheesh. It's crazy. Craziness. you're gonna have a lot of people who weren't willing to, and they stayed behind because that's their ancestors' land. So they gonna go ahead and stay behind. Like, I'm not getting up off my land. They'll die there, you know. And that's a noble thing, you know, just to be like that. Like, hey, you gonna have to get us up out of here, and that's what happened, unfortunately.
I saw. You know what I think about with that though, with it being an island. We started fixing it up and gentrifying it and all that stuff and putting all these giant buildings on it. Won't that eventually start causing the island itself to sink?
It could. It's possible. I think there are islands that are technically sinking, you know.
Yeah. Or they phrase it as ocean levels rising.
Ocean levels rising, yeah. So, I mean, it's possible. That's on them.
It's just sad that this is the length, because I listen. I have my conspiracy theories about a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think there's no way that whoever was involved would believe that this is just a random fire.
No, I think if you look throughout history, there's been things not quite like this, but something similar. Similar happenings. You had people who had whole town flooded. You know, there's been towns flooded.
Chicago just got flooded recently.
Yeah, recently, and they did that on purpose because they had they had NASCAR downtown, so they didn't want the water to bag up. So they did that. They had to shut off some things, and it flooded into the neighborhoods.
That's what. Okay, I see. You know, you just learned me something, because I thought it was little like rain buildup.
No, the Chicago normally does a pretty good job as far as how it controls the water management.
And that's
like, it's one of the best, at least in the United States, as far as controlling. We don't have many floods, so when we do, it's kind of like, damn, what happened?
Exactly.
It's controlled.
Because I'm like, okay, I know it was raining hard, but I've seen it on the news. People. There's so much water that it lifted up cars off the ground, so people were pulling cars across water.
That's why a lot of times that they allow certain areas to flood to save certain areas. So if you have maybe an area that's worth more as far as real estate value, you'll let another area flood. So a lot of times though the areas that are worth the least are in some type of flood zone, you know.
Yeah.
So they don't mind letting the water run over. That's kind of what happened in New Orleans. Is that even though it was flooding, and then, you know, they went on ahead and let that flood too. Yeah. There were parts that was basically, it had some damage as far as structural damage, but it wasn't flooded. But you had whole areas, and they allowed it to get flooded too.
Allegedly.
I mean, because see, the thing is a lot of times we look at things as being conspiracy theories, but then, you know, 50 years from now, they actually, here's book proof this high, you know, that we put crack into the community.
Right.
Boom. Like, people been saying, hey, they put crack into, oh no, they didn't. No. That's just a theory. And then it comes out.
The
Tuskegee experiment. You know what I'm saying? As far as syphilis and so on and so forth.
That was crazy when I found out that.
Right? So that's what I mean. Let's not act like, you know, people don't do little crazy things to whatever their agenda is. You know, so towns get flooded. A place down in Georgia called Lake Lanier. They flooded that, and that lake has been responsible for about 1,000 deaths of people riding on the crazy boating accidents, people getting electrocuted just out of nowhere, like to be swimming and get electrocuted from this town that was flooded. It was all black town. They had a thing, like, I don't know, black towns used to just get flooded back in the day.
For some reason.
Yeah.
They're all underwater.
Yeah, to make reservoirs or something, like, but that's what they used to do.
Yeah.
So this situation, basically what I'm saying, is really nothing new. It's just happening to this group of people, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah. And what you're saying about with the flooding, I just pictured in my head, I'm imagining like a seesaw. One town over here and one town over here. If we want to save this one. Yeah. We'll do something to make that water go.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy, and it's just sad that it had to be like this. Mm-hmm. Like we talked about eminent domain.
Yeah.
Why couldn't you just do eminent domain?
Because a lot of those people were fighting back. Like this on the island, you know, people feel some type of way about Hawaii. Even Americans, a lot of us Americans feel somewhat like, oh man, those are the indigenous people over there. You know, leave them alone.
Yeah.
You know, considering what happened over here already.
Yeah.
It's like, well, those that are the indigenous people over there, at least let them have their land or whatever, you know, and let them make money or whatever it is off their land. That's theirs.
Right.
And for you to want to come over there, you know, like you said, allegedly, to want to come over there and, well, we're going to take that too.
You know, I think, you know, with us talking about this and thinking about eminent domain, I think about one of my favorite sci-fi movies, Avatar.
Uh-huh.
In the first Avatar, dude was looking for whatever that special resource, and they said, look, either you move or we move you.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, they got giant, twice the size of, 3 times the size of what we know, bulldozer trucks plowing through the land. I mean, I don't know. I guess burn it down and rebuild it, huh? That's what they say with everything.
Yeah.
Burn the whole whatever down. You know,
man, you think about it, it's easier just to do that. It's easier.
That's what I'm saying.
It's easier to destroy something versus sit up here and we gotta go through legal. Hey man, we owe you. Look, you know what? A lot of those people aren't coming back. We're gonna give them a couple $. You know, I'm saying not that they necessarily perish, but they're just not coming back. Like
not gonna be back here.
They're not gonna be to that island. Yeah. It's probably they're gonna be forbidden to come back for years to come until it's actually built up properly, and by the time you come back, it's going to be something totally different.
Totally different.
You know, like I think we talked about it on the podcast before. O'Hare.
Yeah.
Bensonville, a good chunk of Bensonville was taken over by O'Hare. Like when I started at the company I worked for, I'm not sure the company you work for, but when I started at O'Hare, which was back in 2005, Irving Park didn't run the way it did, and a lot of those were homes and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a cemetery. Like they didn't go over the cemetery.
I often say, sheesh.
They didn't go over the cemetery, but it's kind of like who's gonna use that cemetery anymore? Like, you know.
So it's an old cemetery.
Yeah, it's an old cemetery, but they did whatever they did, and you can still get to it.
That's crazy though. Like imagine that. Like, hey, we need a cemetery, yo.
Yeah. So. O'Hare expansion has been one of those eminent domains, at least around here, that you can say, you know, and all the expressways that, you know, magically, 55 and 290, Dan Ryan, all of those things being built in the 50s and 60s, we needed that property, you know, for the roadway act in the 50s.
For the airplanes, and the runways. Mm-hmm. Well, that's all I got for today, man.
Hey, man, that's all I got too, man.
We could, you know.
We could politic for hours.
Hours.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Thank you guys for listening. We greatly appreciate you. Again, happy nuptials, Maul. For happy nuptials, man. I'm glad you made that move, man. So for Mesh, completely unrelated to the subjects that we talked about, unless you have something.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. Man. So I have one of the wax melters, right? The electric wax melters, replaces a candle.
Okay.
Yeah, I love it. It's significantly better to me. But unfortunately, I also have carpet. So, you know, you put the piece of wax on there, it melts it, makes the room all fragrant and all that stuff. But I moved it too fast while the wax was still liquid.
Splashed it all over the place.
Splashed it on my carpet. So I'm thinking, like, how am I going to get wax? I could figure out a way to maybe get a stain out. How am I going to get wax? Because that's solid, right? Yeah. So I did my research. Went to YouTube University.
Of course.
And this is just something for people to think about. I'm not a carpenter. I'm not telling you what to do. So don't come back and say, Spaces told me to do this. No, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I researched. Nope. Really? I'm just telling you what I did and what I found. So at first what the dude was saying, or what the video was saying, take a brown paper bag and take your iron, Put the iron on dry, not steam mode, on dry. And just put the iron on top of the brown paper bag, and it makes the wax go from solid to liquid again, and the bag absorbs the liquid out of the carpet.
Oh, I can kind of see that, but it still might be a problem.
That's what I'm not telling y'all what to do. I'm just saying.
Did it work for you?
It worked.
Okay.
When I did it. Of my own volition to my carpet.
I got hardwood floors.
That's what I'm going to do in the future.
Get hardwood floors?
Get hardwood floors. Get hardwood floors, because when I saw it, I'm like, I really didn't think I was going to be able to get it out.
You can always get Stanley Steamer. Stanley Steamer. That's the company.
Would that work though?
I don't know. They should know. They're what you call yourself, a carpenter?
I am not a carpenter. I did not call myself a carpenter. I'm not telling y'all what to do either. I'm just saying what I did.
I'm not sure if that's what you call the carpet people though.
Oh wow.
Carpenters are the people that build the houses, and they deal with wood.
Call Empire, because they deal with rugs and floors.
Yeah, but no, Stanley Steamer. Yeah, I'm sure they. Anyway. Yeah,
that's my mess.
That was an inside joke for me.
Oh what?
Yeah.
I would have known.
It's okay, I'm laughing.
Just something to think about, man. Just something to think about. If you just happen to have a situation where you get wax or something on the carpet that you didn't think that would come out, holler at YouTube University. You never know what you can find. Go check out the No Absolutes podcast with Will Hill. This is a great dude. Great conversation over there. This has been another edition of the KNoWKi podcast. Wear your crown, build your legacy, kings. It's your man, Spaces.
It's Jay every day.
Hey, it's your man, Ma. Hey, it's your man, Ma.
It sound like
I got married, baby.
You sound like damn, what the fuck? The coach from damn, you sound like a coach. Basketball coach. Celtic. Doc Rivers. Hell yeah, you sound like Doc. Mom, you don't sound like Doc Rivers, G. I got you fucking.
I can't do his voice. He got
a unique voice, man. It carries, you know what I mean?
Hey. Meeting adjourned.
Hey. Nah, we go.